Hey everyone, I'm Jared Abrojena and this is Josh Dyslin. We're here with Academy Trained and we're going to be going over some our secrets of our precision cutting course. So we're super proud about this course, and we developed a 3-step cut to put us in the 90th percentile of being great in making perfect precision cuts. So today that's what we're going to show you guys, and we're going to move through this nice and slow. A lot of this stems with work positioning. Okay, we tend to make poor cuts and make bad decisions because we are unable to get into a proper work positioning. So it all stems from that. So as you can see here, a major benefit that Josh has of working SRS is we're able to get into a choked position. So in case of an emergency, we're able to descend out of the tree. So this is one big step already that we have an advantage of. Okay, the next is when we have a choke system, we're able to create a bite in one direction to help us be able to move around these trunks and stems, especially when they have heavy leans. What we're going to do right out the gate, and what we heavily recommend and teach, is that we create a double bite system. Okay, so as you guys can see, we incorporated a pressic here on top of our climbing system that's choked, and we're able to double this back up into our climbing system. So now we can work both directions of this stem and create a bite to make it much easier for us to move around the stem. So go ahead and get us in that position. So as you can see now, Josh is able to move to one side of the spar and then come back and move to the sight side of the spar. Now you guys have heard me say sight side of the spar. What I'm saying by this is when we created this 3-step cutting procedure, we want to be on the side of the spar that enables us to use the chainsaw in a manner that gives us full visibility and a full sight to make these cuts. A lot of the reason we miss cuts is because we don't have a good visual on where the tip of our chainsaw is and where our bar is going. We tend to guess a lot. Now, as you guys can see right now, Josh was able to get onto the sight side of the spar. Okay, now he's positioning himself to get about breast height or chest height where he's going to make the apex of his cut. Okay, so you can see he's in that zone right now. So we're really trying to stay away of creating that cut by our neck and our face. All right, so we're in a really good position there. We have our lanyard in, and he has this double choke system. In case of an emergency, he can easily descend out of the tree. Next step is starting procedures. Okay, we're going to get in this position. Now Josh is going to be able to start that chainsaw, and we promote a leg lock starting procedure opposed to a drop start. So let's go ahead and simulate that. As you guys can see, Josh has taken the left hand on the corner of the chainsaw bar, and he's tucking it around the outside of his lanyard, tucking it into his right knee with his dogs engaged in the trunk. Now what he's doing is this is creating a lot less effort for us to carry that chainsaw and have to hold the chainsaw while we're trying to start it. Okay, this is very stable, especially when we're dealing with large saws in the tree. Okay, so now we're in a really good position. He's able to start the saw with good ergonomics, and once the saw is started, now both of his hands are directly on the chainsaw ready for use. He's never taking a hand off the chainsaw at any point to maneuver it around. All right, so as you guys can see right now, Josh is in a really good body position. We're right around between a 30 and 45 degrees. He's leaning back on his lanyard, and his climbing system is taut, so it's telling me that he's using this to alleviate some of the pressure on his hips. All right, the next is you can see how his body is positioned, and he has one leg up. This is really going to help him be able to maneuver and take a little bit of load and as his body's moving around to make this cut. All right, so number 1 step to our 3-stage procedure is our top cut first. We're going to come in, we're going to get our dogs set, we're going to come in, make our top cut. Okay, now at any point we need to check the direction of this cut. We're able to sneak back behind of our chainsaw and use our guides from behind the saw as a felling guide if we need to get a general direction, okay? So now that our top cut is in and we have the pie in the way of our visual, what we do is we take our dogs and we dog it in, and we're able to stay in this perfect position that we're at. And you can see Josh is just going to take a squat, he's going to kneel down, and he's going to get a visual to where he can look down through his dogs all the way through the top cut and be able to line up that and match it, okay? The visual is everything. If you cannot see through the top of the cut, this will not work, okay? So now that he has a lineup, he's gonna go ahead and dog in, and he's gonna match that bottom cut. And as he comes in through the wood, what's gonna happen is two things. He's looking down the top side of this cut, waiting to see the tip of his bar come out to the other side. That's one. Two is, if he sees a chatter in that piece of the pie, he's gonna stop that cut, he's gonna knock that pie out, and then clean his cut out. The reason why we could be so successful in making this cut is because we have a visual at every single point of this cut, okay? So, awesome, go ahead and put that away. Now our next step, if we're able to make a back cut at this point from this position, what's gonna happen is when we put the chainsaw up to the back of this spar, the body of the chainsaw is in the way. So we can no longer get a visual of how we're gonna match this up, okay? We're gonna guess, and we're gonna use probably the top side, which I call the pro side of the bar, and try to guesstimate how to line up the back cut to this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move around to the sight side of the spar. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and, and transfer yourself back around. And Josh is gonna move all the way around to this side of the spar, okay? He's already double choked, so it's gonna be very easy for him to just wiggle right around. Now this is the difference here. This extra 5-10 seconds that it took to get in this position is saving him a world of difference in being precise. And that's our goal here, is precision cutting, okay? Yeah, we could stay on the back side of this and we can guess to try to make that back cut. But when you're sitting at 100 feet in the air, there's no guessing. You don't want to be guessing. You want to know exactly that you're going to match this cut up the first time and have a successful cut, okay? So at this point, we're in a same position. We got a good buffer zone here so we don't cut our line. This is our safety zone. This is going to be the distance from the bar of our chainsaw to the body of the chainsaw, okay? So now we're going to take the chainsaw, we're going to flip it upside down. We're going to use the go side, which is the lower side of the bar, okay? And we're going to flip it upside down, right? So now we're looking down the top side of this bar. We're looking down right here. We can see through the dogs all the way across the apex to get a really good visual and lineup on this, okay? Now that his dogs are engaged and he's got a good visual, he's gonna start his cut and he's gonna watch that all the way around, giving us a very, very, very good opportunity to hit our mark on point. Now, like I said, this puts us in a very, very high percentile of matching this cut, no doubt. When we miss, we're trying to miss within a 1/4 inch and less, okay? And this is where we know that this works consistently because it proves itself. So now that we're making this cut, let's get in the cut, let's move it all the way through. All right, so now we're moving through this cut. As you guys can see here, our dot, let's dig all the way in. Can we get in a little bit further? It's a little sticky in there, a little sawdust. That's okay. Okay, that's good. So now that we're coming in, what we want to do is we want to measure our distance from our tooth to our dogs. Okay, I know that mine are roughly a little under 2 inches. Okay, so I know if I know that dog is roughly 2 inches from my cutter, that's telling me if I get my dog right into the apex, I know that my hinge will be a 2-inch hinge. Okay, that's how we guesstimate it. I know that the tip of my chainsaw sits higher than the body of my chainsaw. Okay, so if you know that about your chainsaw, you're able to guesstimate the distance from the body of your chainsaw to the very tip. If that's 2.75 inches, if my dogs are sitting here at the apex with a 2-inch hinge, I know that my hinge on the other side of the spar is 2.75, okay? I don't have to run to each side of this spar to know what it looks like on the other side, because I've done the measurements and I know where my saw tip's gonna end up. So within this cutting method, it really puts you on point. It's taking the extra effort to be precise, and that's the goal. The goal is to do things right, do it once, and end up with a good result. So I hope this helped you guys. We believe in this. We use it every day. We hope you guys get to come out and learn it from us firsthand. Visit us to see more at academy-train.com. Hope to see you guys soon.